Sonic the Hedgehog, created by Sonic Team and published by Sega for the Mega Genesis drive. Sonic is a 2D side-scrolling platformer that's about speed. Well, you see, if you're from any region that has the Power TV signal, you might have been quite shocked to see that the game was advertised for its speed, but it ran so slowly. Now sure, the Americans and Japanese people got the game slightly faster than Europe and Australia, but really, I get that Sonic Team weren't aware that the game was going to run so slow due to us having 50Hz systems that slowed down this 60Hz game, and the sequels did fix up these issues, but the music in game is just so slow. It got to a point where I stopped caring and was just playing so sloppily because I couldn't be bothered with it. Also, please excuse any graphical errors, as I'm running the game through an emulator with appropriate settings so it runs like the slowed down Mega Drive version. Anyway, let's get right into the story. Now, Sonic has a very simple story, which can only be found in the manual, compared to games we have now like Uncharted and Until Dawn and all that type of stuff. I mean, what do you expect from a 90s platformer about a blue hedgehog? Anyway, the story goes that the evil Dr. Ivo Robotnik has enslaved all of Sonic's animal bodies on their home world of South Island. But wait, really? You're serious? South Island is the best they could come up with. Moving on. Sonic now has to free them from robotic creatures and save them from capsules found at the end of every third act after fighting Robotnik. The game ends with you defeating Ivo and returning to the first stage of Green Hill Zone to see you and your animal friends all safe. Now, aside from that sounding like a drug trip I don't want to go down, how big is South Island? The game never states that it takes place anywhere else, so does Green Hill Zone, Marble Zone, and all those other zones exist on one island? To the controls and gameplay. Sonic controls quite fluidly. Holding left or right on the D-pad makes you move either left or right. That's as expected, really. Holding either of the two for just a few seconds starts a run, which speeds up with the more momentum you gain. While running, you can push down to curl up into a ball, and you can gain more speed while doing this until you hit a stop. This is known as a spin roll, and it will be used to destroy breakable walls and even destroy the badnik enemies. By pushing A, B, or C on the controller, Sonic will jump. The jump can be used to destroy enemies, break open TV monitors that hold items, jump on springs, and deal damage to bosses. You can also hold up on the D-pad to force the camera up. It really has no point, and yeah, it's a neat feature, I guess. When playing, Sonic will collect rings scattered across the stages, in and out of item boxes. These act as your health. By taking a hit while having rings on you, you won't die, but you'll drop them all. But collecting at least one will keep you alive if you get hit again. Collecting 50 rings in every first or second act will grant you access to a bonus stage at the end of the level, where you can earn continues by collecting 50 rings in it, and collecting continues lets you continue on if you get a game over. You also have the ability to collect Chaos Emeralds while in these bonus stages. The Chaos Emeralds are the main collectibles in the game. There's 6 of them, and getting all of them gets the alternate ending, which I don't know a lot of games from back then that did this, so I think that's pretty cool. Sonic works on a life system, meaning you start the game off with 3 lives and you can earn more by collecting 100 rings per act, or by opening TV monitors. I keep bringing up, there are TV monitors with items in them. They store either an extra life, 10 rings, or a shield. They are broken by jumping on them. This shield I mentioned acts like the rings, except if you get hit while having the shield you won't drop your rings, so it's just another hit point. The music in Sonic is okay. Playing the Mega Drive version had it slowed down for me, but listening to them as originally intended, they are fine. They get the job done, and they're decent for the time. There isn't much to be said about them, but you can hear the music and go, that's Sonic, which I think was the point. Graphics-wise, this is pretty nice for 1991 as a console game. Sure, there were better looking arcade games that came out before, but this was the first big 16-bit console after the gaming market having 8-bit games beforehand. It even has this pseudo-transparent effect for water, which is really impressive for the time. Oh boy. Let's now look at the faults of this game. You can't even pass the title screen without seeing a bug. Press start button text is missing. It's not officially confirmed, but fans suspect that due to RAM overlay in the final build, the text doesn't show up. Another common bug is that when Sonic tries to start his pushing animation and you press the jump button, the jump animation doesn't play, so Sonic just moves upwards. One of the worst bugs also included in this game is the dreaded spike glitch. Normally when you get hit, you have some frames of invincibility, so you can't just die straight away from 2 hits in a row. Well, that logic is thrown right out the window when it comes to spikes. Landing on them in one consistent bounce kills you. Like, that's it, you're dead. Life is lost. This was patched down in the 2013 re-release, so I'm pretty sure it was a bug, but people still debate about that. Anyway, it's removed from every future game as well, so that's even more reason for it to be a bug. Is Sonic the Hedgehog worth playing now? No. There are far better options out there to fill your fast-paced platforming needs, like the following Mega Drive sequels, the 2013 mobile remake, or even 2017's Sonic Mania on PS4, Xbox, Steam, and Switch. Sonic is just a slow-paced platformer, which isn't even about speed but momentum. The Mega Drive version should especially be forgotten in time due to how unoptimized it is for power regions, with how slow it runs. As I mentioned before, you aren't going to play this game for the story. I mean, if you don't get a copy with the manual, you don't even know there is one, because it just straight up sucks. The controls are fine and get the job done, and the gameplay mechanics are simple, yet effective for what it's trying to set out to do. The music is iconic and nice on the ears, unless listening to the slowed down PAL tracks, and the graphics look nice. The game is riddled with glitches left, right, and center, with the main menu not even being free of them. It's understandable why it got so many re-releases over time, but not in any power regions. Why? If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave some feedback in the comments below, and that's all for now. Goodbye.